Moving on now, temperatures in Spain are expected to skyrocket, with the country bracing for temperatures rising up to 40 degrees Celsius. The scorching heat is likely to cause a new wave of wildfires across the country. Meteorologists warn of a series of heat waves that are expected. Our next report gets you all the details. Take a look. For much of Europe, April so far has been rather cold and unreasonably wet in places. However, Spain has remained very dry and very warm, retaining the subtropical air that has led to forest fires and a widespread drought. Plumes of heat from the tropics are expected to continue to affect the country throughout the coming days, threatening the April maximum temperature record. The rising temperatures are being cited to the entry of a very warm and dry air mass from Africa, coupled with atmospheric stability and strong sunshine. The Spanish weather agency said that the mercury is expected to creep up to 38 to 40 degrees Celsius in many regions.
We are experiencing a rather exceptional situation with a thermal ridge of African origin, a kind of heat wave that reaches from North Africa to Spain, favored to some extent by the continental climate, which is a normal situation in summer. But with this intensity and at this point in the summer, it is quite unusual, and in fact, it is going to break some temperature records in various observatories that have been holding those records for decades.
The government of Central Madrid region announced an action plan including allowing schools to adapt their timetable around peak temperatures and to ensure air conditioning at health centers. Under the plan, Madrid's many outdoor swimming pools will open a month earlier than usual, and the capital's subway system is also set to increase air conditioning and make trains more frequent to avoid overcrowding. As droughts loom large, Spain has requested emergency funds from the European Union to support farmers and ranchers amid extreme drought conditions. The country had already received at least $70 million last year from the EU Common Agricultural Policy's Crisis Reserve to cope with the increased cost of raw materials linked to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Spain has seen at least 36 consecutive months of below-average rainfall. Reservoirs are at 50% of their capacity, which is slightly higher than last year, but below the average of the last decade. Currently, over 27% of the Spanish territory is classified as in drought emergency or alert, according to the Ecological Transition Ministry, and water reserves are at least 50% of capacity nationally. Residents are being urged to think about how they use water supplies as drought conditions continue to grip the country. Agriculture has also been badly hit, with crops struggling in the hot and dry conditions.
Forecasts are complicated for the next months. Apart from extreme episodes like the ones we will have this week, in terms of temperature, we observe that the rainfall during the months of May, June and July have a similar average to past years. However, as the rainfall has been very low over the last months in relation to years before, we are beginning to get worried about the water availability, especially in the hydrological basins. We are concentrating our efforts in order to guarantee drinking water in big populations. Not only the big of all, the populations, as best as we can.
Spain has seen low rainfall and high temperatures for 3 years, with 2022 being its hottest on record, and with the Mediterranean warming faster than the global average due to climate change. In 2021, the dangerous levels of heat saw Spain swelter in temperatures above 47 degrees Celsius as heatwave conditions gripped southern Europe. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.